7:02. And next order of business is to elect a chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me. Thank you.
You're opposed?
Excellent job. So next item is elect the vice chairman, and currently it's Rick Thorpe was our vice chairman. So I'll entertain a motion for a vice chair.
I'll nominate Rick Thorpe.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor of Rick Thorpe, besides Rick Thorpe, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Any opposed, besides Rick Thorpe?
I'll just abstain, it'll make it easier.
And then we get clerk. Carrie currently serves as our clerk. So when we get sued, she gets served.
Okay.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So only a lawyer is gonna get sued. So I'll entertain a motion for a clerk.
I'd like to nominate Carrie Katie.
I second.
So we have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You're all good, Carrie.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't
Carrie.
get sued.
I hope not.
Authorized signatories. So we've never done this before in the past. I don't know if Wardsboro does this, but technically before any checks can be released, the board is supposed to sign. So the board is allowed under statute to appoint one or two people to sign pay warrants if there's not pay warrants at the meeting. So remember, right now, we really have nothing that we approve for authorization, but starting July 1st, I think Matt and Tammy are gonna wanna check anyways, and probably other people, so we're gonna have to have authorized signatories. My suggestion would be, is do one from each town, if we could. The clerk is gonna, the treasurer will be in Dover, because it's Marco, but the paperwork will be created at Wyndham Central, which is in Townsend. So I don't know, Barry, do you get to Townsend much?
Not very often, no.
But we could still have stuff sent over here. Are you in Wards?
Yeah, I'm living down here, so.
Is that something you'd be interested in
Sure, I'll
doing?
do it.
Because Rick, you travel a lot, right?
I do, yeah.
So maybe what we would do, Dwight is in Dover a lot, but we must be in town. I didn't see anything. Is he coming? Did
He sent me a text earlier, and I'm assuming he's on his way. He must be
Okay.
running over.
And Laura said she would be here. She had it down for 6:30. So we could wait.
I have,
Or
if
do-
you wanna wait for them to get here, but I have no problem.
Okay, well,
doing
so
that.
do we have a nomination for two people to be the signatories?
I nominate Barry. And do you want to do that?
Yeah,
Or-
I can
Okay,
do-
and nominate you, Rich.
Okay, so we have a motion to move for Barry and I. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion, any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Official newspapers, do you guys use the Reformer? Tammy?
Yes,
We
that
do.
is the official newspaper.
So what we've done in Dover in years past is we've had, because the Valley News is a weekly paper, we also notify them. But we use the Reformer because they're a 7-day-a-week papers, or 6 days a week, so we can get stuff in there earlier. And then I don't know, is the Bucketville News actually considered a newspaper?
No, it's like a newsletter, community
Okay.
newsletter.
So those are the three things. I know we've been keeping the Bucketville News up to speed, and the Valley News has been up to speed in the Reformer, so it's whatever you folks. I just need a motion to have an official paper or papers.
So I would move that we include both the Brattleboro Reformer and the Deerfield Valley News as our official papers.
Okay, because you can also to just notify the Valley News, and then that way you only have one official
Oh.
paper too.
Okay, that makes sense.
But you made a motion, so you would have to withdraw it.
I amend my motion Can I do that?
No, I think you would draw it.
I'll withdraw it. I've got a new one now.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's hear it.
I
Let's hear it.
do. So my new motion is that we move to have the Brattleboro Reformer as the official paper, but notify the Deerfield Valley News.
Would somebody like to second that one?
I can second that one, sure.
Okay, so you can make a motion, and if nobody seconds it, the motion just dies, or you can withdraw your motion before that, but if somebody seconds it, the only way you can withdraw is both the second and if that's not a real word. Or then you can also go to amend it once it's, but it has to be moved and seconded to be amendable. Amendable. Too many words. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for the Brattleboro Reformer and also notify the Valley News. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Cool. Sounds like everybody. Set meeting days and times. So we currently have been using the first and third Mondays at 7 p.m. with the first meeting in Wardsboro and the second in Dover. There wasn't a question somebody asked me. Oh, Tammy and I had a discussion about, there's no meeting. We originally did 7 because we thought Wardsboro may want to meet before this meeting, the Wardsboro board. And we have to be at 7 in Dover just because we try to have our Dover meeting, so because we've got a lot of common members. But we could also change them to 6:30 if you guys want, or whatever you folks think. I know, Carrie, you travel, so getting here at 6:30 is a little harder.
It would be pretty, I don't think I'd be able to make it. I can make it just at 7. I actually was early today, but it's hard to
The
leave.
judge let you out early for good behavior?
I know. It's hard to leave before 6, and you really need to leave before 6 to get here on time,
Okay.
so.
Somebody just needs to make a motion onto the days and the times.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with them the way they are. I'll make a motion that we meet the first and third Mondays at 7 p.m., with the first Monday being in Wardsboro and the second meeting, which would be on the third week, in Dover.
Good motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, everybody clear on the motion? You all ready to vote?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Sounds unanimous. Truant officer. Tammy, what do you guys do in Wardsboro?
We use Wyndham County
yeah.
Sheriffs,
Okay, and they agreed to do it?
Yeah.
as far as I know, yeah.
Does it cost you anything? Okay. So in Dover, obviously, we do Dover Police. I did talk to the chief in Dover to see if they would do both Wardsboro and Dover. And he said he would try it as long as it didn't get too out of hand. I don't know how often you call the truant officer.
I haven't called them once I've been in this position.
For a couple, 3 years now. So everybody just loves coming to your school so well, there's no. So we just need to name a truant officer, so we could do the sheriff's department, or we could do Dover PD, or we could do a combination of them, or we can name a person. We can name Mark as a truant officer, and we'll give him a little light in a hat and a baton.
Nightstick.
I guess if I can have a baton.
You can't use it, you can have it.
They get a
don't wanna
badge
use it.
too.
Yeah, we'll give you a patch, it'll be a little star.
What about having both as both?
No, we can do that, that's either
Kinda
one or
follow what they're
both
doing
or
right now.
whatever. So you wanna make that motion, ma'am?
Yes, so I move that we have the Wyndham County Sheriff's Department be the truant officer for Wardsboro campus school, and Dover Police Department for Dover.
Okay, do we have a second?
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Sounds unanimous. Policy Committee, so there is a request next week, next Wednesday, at Wyndham Central from the West River Education District to work on policies and have all the policies be Wyndham Central versus
School districts.
right, individual school districts, even though, again, that doesn't make a lot of sense because some of their policies aren't applicable to us because we don't run a high school. I don't know, in Wardsboro, did you guys put somebody on policy committee from the school district, the Wardsboro School District? Have you reorganized?
Was it you, Barry?
Policy committee?
Or
Nah, I think it's Mike.
Mike?
Mike?
Well,
So-
Mike and I are the ones that go to the
Right.
meetings from Wardsboro.
Okay, so you go anyways.
So I'll be there anyway.
Okay, so what we can do if you folks want, so I'm going for Dover. So I don't know if we're gonna have any meetings or not and how long it's gonna be. So for right now, Dover, the River Valleys doesn't get a vote, it'll just be but it would be good to be up to speed so that
To have somebody
when
there.
it
Well, I'm gonna
changes
be there
over.
anyway, so.
So why don't we make you and I the policy people from River Valleys and then it'll carry over. Can you do that for us? Mark?
Yes, sure. You want me to make a motion?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll make a motion that Rich Warner and Barry Pearson be our representatives on the Wyndham Central Supervisory Union Policy Committee.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, that all passes. So I have WCSU reps. So for right now, since we don't operate a school, we don't get a vote at WCSU. But starting July 1st, we will get a vote. But I don't know how many, because we haven't figured out what it's gonna look like at Wyndham Central. So I'm gonna ask that we just pass over that, and it doesn't need a motion, but I just wanted it there. And we'll carry that over through old business for a while until we see, and there will be a discussion after our next meeting on the 20th in Townsend about what it may look like, and there is possibly could be a vote at that same time, so we would have a better clue, and then we could then, have a vote on who we want to be our WCSU reps. Who are your SU reps now for Wardsboro?
It's me and Mike.
Okay, so you would have some knowledge about what's going on. Are you gonna make it next Wednesday?
I will be there, yeah.
Good, that'd be really important. You get 3 reps though, don't you? You're an operating school.
I don't know, I think there's only been 2 in the past.
No, you get 3.
Oh, good.
So you guys ought
Right into
to
it.
get together and get a 3rd one there, cause there's gonna be a lot of stuff at the next WCSU meeting.
So Dwight would be the only other one because we're currently operating with 3 board members.
Oh, you didn't elect 2 others?
Correct.
Yeah, anybody.
You couldn't even appoint anybody? Oh, well, actually, if you're only a 3-member board, then you don't have to, all 3 members are WCSU reps. So you're fine with that.
That'd be Dwight.
That'd be Dwight by default. So he's gonna love that. He's gonna love
He doesn't?
that. He's gonna love that.
Okay. Well, tell him we voted him in here, even though, we'll let him watch the video and see.
Watch the video, exactly.
So tell him he has to watch video, see what happened. So that's it for reorganization, unless anybody can think anything else that I missed. Okay, moving right along. Additions or deletions to the agenda. Does anybody have anything that we missed? Sorry it got out late because I thought I'd send it out again. Sometimes if I do it too early,
It's almost better that you sent it out late.
yeah, everybody remembers it. Okay, hearing none, members of the public, Mark?
Nope.
Cool. Valley News?
No, I'm all good.
Gita? We don't have administrators. You guys got anything?
No, just,
Video guy, he come straight from vacation. He's smiling, says he doesn't like the white stuff. Review and approve the minutes of the February 25th, 2019 meeting. That was the meeting we held in Dover. Here's Laura. Everybody tell Laura what she got elected to.
Policy Committee, the truancy officer.
Yeah, the best one is you're the clerk too, and you're gonna take minutes for Peter when he's not here. Oh my God. And if we get sued, they're gonna serve you.
Stressing her out.
Okay, so
Probably don't need any help, do you?
So, February 25th, 2019 meeting, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
And we should approve the minutes in the meeting.
Second?
Second.
Okay, so we have Carrie and Barry. Is there any discussion? No, did I say that wrong? Sounds like a breakfast cereal, doesn't it? Barry and Carrie. All those in favor say aye.
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 Cool. Old business, update on transportation committee work, ongoing Carrie.
Okay, so I drafted a letter, and I sent it to our administrators, to Matt and to Tammy for their review first. We didn't have any changes, so I sent that out yesterday afternoon to all the members from the River Valley Unified School Transportation Committee meeting. I did not get a chance to go back home to check that email, but I will tonight and tomorrow. I just want each person to be able to comment on that because we have really good participation for the 3 meetings that we had. So I anticipate I'll be able to send this letter out to our superintendent by the end of this week. That's my plan. So
No, bring it to the board
I'll bring it to the board
next meeting,
next meeting.
and then you can go to the superintendent.
Okay.
And there is something to be discussed at the SU level next Wednesday on facilities and management and transportation.
So I'll send this to all the board members by the end of this week.
Yeah, or just have it on Monday. If it's not a real long letter, we can look at it at that time.
It is 2 pages.
Okay, yeah, if you want to send it out early, that's
I will
great,
do
Carrie. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Cool. Review of town meeting ballot results. So in your little packet, there should be a little grid. It looks like this. I hope you guys got it right. Yeah. So this was a total thing that Andy sent out. So Article 9, which was the article to vote by Australian ballot, not to vote at town meeting by voice vote. Was that Article 9? Yes, to
Yes.
vote at its annual budget from the floor at their annual meeting. So there are the votes were commingled, so I know there was about 50 voters in Wardsboro and 150 or so in Dover, a little over 200. So 153 said yes and 40 said no, so that was, better than almost 4-1 on that. Article 10 was in Wardsboro, you get to vote from the floor, and in Dover it stays the way it was. Article 10, you can see there was 156 yeses and 36 noes, so, better than 4-1. And then Article 11 was the budget of $5,346,131, no pennies. And that passed by 155 to 41, so a little better than 3-1. So I'd like to congratulate everybody. I think everybody did a great job. The budget passed. We now have money to pay people starting July 1st. And I know Tammy and Matt are smiling back there because they're gonna have a check. Any other and then, Laura got 108 votes. She had 3 people write in against her.
These are the write-ins.
3 write-ins, they each got 1 vote.
No.
And Rich Thorpe got elected, and nobody wanted to write anybody in Wardsboro. I guess they were afraid that maybe they'd get the position and Rick would quit. So anyways, we got Rick for another 3 years, and Laura, thank you guys for running. Great job. Great campaign you ran. It was a tough one. Any questions or thoughts or comments on that? Usually we do kind of a follow-up, but I think the budget, the budget was not, we were all a little nervous about it, and I think, hopefully it was a pretty good job by the TV and Anita and the staff and administration and everybody, getting the word out, so. Did you guys get asked, hang on one second, did you guys get asked any questions at town meeting about budgets or voting on the budget?
We didn't in Wardsboro.
How are you, buddy? So we're right here talking about, we appointed you to the rep at the WCSU, and we appointed you on the policy committee, and we appointed you truant officer.
Okay.
So, we're just reviewing the town meeting
Okay.
budget counts, or the counts. That was a sheet we had. Okay, so is there anything else anybody wants to say about the budget or the ballots or the voting?
I don't, but I need to step out for a minute because it just got paged.
Thank you. Okay, Mark, you had something you wanted to say?
Question about these ballots. On each article line, there's a box that says 1, 2, and 12. What are those?
Those are just lines that Andy uses when he counts ballots that go across the top. So he breaks them up into groups, and then a group will report back. So he keeps each group so he can track the ballots.
Okay.
And I just cut out the middle so that I can make it smaller. So I think 12 was the total. I don't know, I don't know what the 1 under 2 means for the under no votes. I don't know if that was just a number that transcribed from somewhere else.
Maybe a column number or something?
No, I don't know why that's, well, no, you know what, it had to be something because there was 41 votes. No, so we added the 2.
Oh, is that the one that, did we?
Was it a spoiled ballot or something?
No?
No?
I don't know. I really don't know, Mark.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ask Andy. Maybe I wasn't supposed to hand this out, maybe that's his secret notes.
No, it was on the Dover website also.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, while we're speaking to Mark, appoint third auditors. Third auditor should have been single. So at the last meeting, Mark couldn't make the meeting at Wardsboro during our annual meeting. And we had 2 auditors appointed, both from Dover. One who volunteered at that night, one who volunteered ahead of time, who's currently serves as an auditor. And we were hoping that somebody from Wardsboro would come in and want to be an auditor. Have we heard from anybody from Wardsboro that has any interest? No?
I've heard of people trying to talk other people into it. Norman Bills was trying to be, or his wife was trying to talk him into it, but he hasn't stepped forward officially, so.
Okay. So we have reached out, there has been
Yes.
discussion, people know about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark is willing to serve. Does anybody have an issue with that?
How long are the terms?
Just a year.
I mean, I have zero issue with it, you know, just wanting to fill it. It would be nice if we could get somebody from Wardsboro, but.
Yeah,
since
and
nobody's
we
coming
reached
forward.
out, nobody came forward.
Yeah.
And Mark, I feel I don't want to keep putting him off because he actually volunteered. I don't want to discourage him.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Mark.
Before it's too late.
So if nobody has an issue, we just need a motion to appoint Mark in a second and then we vote on it.
I move.
Make motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so Laura moved it and Barry seconded it to appoint Mark as a third auditor. Mark B. Schauber, Schauber. You want to say anything before we pass sentence on you?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
You put it that way.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, thank you for coming forward,
you.
Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Okay, Tam, I guess you're gonna do a brief update on the Wardsboro focus. So Bill had to go to another board that was having an issue, so he asked if we would be okay, and I thought we would be okay. So,
Just a brief, I've been busy, but brief update. If you want to take one and pass them on. All right, so I didn't realize this, but the state of Vermont actually has a STEAM specialist through the Agency of Education. His name is Greg Young, so I've been in contact with him, and he's been able to give me some information on several statewide events, including a STEM fair, as well as a list of resources. And he also has some suggestions about visiting some schools in Vermont. I've also researched avenues for both STEM and STEAM for the teacher and campus certifications. I virtually met with a representative from NICE, which is the National Institute for STEAM Education, and I discussed their program that they offer, as well as the different pathways for certification. It is a program that focuses on 15 different teacher actions, which is based on current instructional practice, is based on research, and best instructional practice. And basically teachers would develop a portfolio and then they would provide document as far as evidence toward meeting those proficiencies. So I was really excited about what they had to offer, and I would love for the board to see what they're all about. So I have been in contact with him again, and he has proposed some dates for meeting with all of you to go over it as well. So I listed those dates on this sheet. One of them is April 1st at 6 p.m., which would be prior to the next Wardsboro meeting, so it wouldn't be an additional night out for you guys or afternoon, which would be fantastic. So I'm proposing that to all of you.
Dover?
no, it's here, April 1st.
We don't have a Dover meeting.
No, we're only
Yes.
meeting,
Yeah.
we're only meeting the third Monday, so.
I would love to do April 1st.
Serve it.
Okay, so I will set that up with him.
Is that good with everybody?
That's great.
Have you been in contact with the superintendent? Does that date work for him?
He saw my information, and he didn't say that it wasn't an option for him, so I will call him tomorrow and find out.
Okay, I think he's more important than the board.
Okay, so some of the
And I think,
things,
Matt, are you good with that too? Because I think, you know, both administrators, because you'll have to, if you need assistance, you know, Matt will probably be an easy one to go to too, so.
1st of April, I'm open.
perfect, all right. So some of the things we went over was he wanted to get a feeling for the school, so I gave him a little bit of the school background. He asked about like our motivation for pursuing STEM, and then he went over the different certifications. So there's a teacher certification as well as a campus certification. And he gave me a timeline as far as about how long the program would take, as well as, you know, some of the research that they've done as far as it being, you know, based on the research and instructional practices. Teachers would be assigned basically a STEM coach, and everything would be virtual and online kind of class, customized based on, you know, our campus. And then they gave us some costs, which he can discuss with us. So that's that. The other thing that I did was I've been in contact with 3 schools. 2 of them are ones that Bill had already, I think, discussed with both of you. One is in Gilsum, New Hampshire, which is, I think, just outside of Jaffrey. So it's about maybe an hour and 15 minutes from here. It sounds like it's a multi-age school, like our school is, and pretty small. So I think it would be a great one to visit. That principal, actually, she got back to me today. So I have a phone call set up with her tomorrow. I've also been in contact with a STEM magnet school in New London, Connecticut, which is a bit further away. I think it's about 2.5 hours. I haven't heard back from them yet. And I also have an email out to the principal at the Windsor School in Windsor, Vermont, which is also about an hour and 15 minutes from here. So waiting to hear back from those, but if you all are interested, and maybe Matt, you can tag along too, it would be great to visit some schools and see what's happening.
Yeah, just so, I think when you did the visits with the.
It was
IB,
very instructive.
I think it's really important that you have some staff there too that may wind up doing it, because they may want to see what it looks like. So I think,
Okay.
you know, that's more important than, again, the board, but I think it'd be good to have some board. I don't think the whole board needs to go.
But I think it's great to have board
No,
members go.
I
mean, to
I
have that
agree.
support.
What I'm saying is, I think the important person is
Yeah.
Tammy.
Yeah.
And then some of her staff. And then, you know, if there's a board, you know, you set the dates that work for you guys, and if.
Yes.
And then
Then-
you guys can come.
Right, if a board member or 2 can go, I think that's great. But if they can, I think, you know, don't make a date that works for the board and works for nobody else, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You know,
Sounds
I
good.
think, does everybody agree or not? I mean,
No,
I'd
I
love to
totally
have a
agree
board
with
member go, but we shouldn't be the deciding factor.
Sounds good.
So then, if you do make some calls, you know, then maybe Monday we can set some dates for April, which would kind of keep us right on that schedule. I think that would be great, Tammy.
Sounds good.
Everybody okay with that? Excellent. Good work. Any other thoughts, ideas, comments?
That's all I have.
Anybody got any questions for Tammy?
Great.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I still had the future work that the board wanted to tackle, and obviously, you know, the STEM or STEAM thing is one of them. And we kind of have a calendar from that. Is there anything else that anybody's thought of? And if not, I don't think we're gonna need a whole huge calendar, because there wasn't a lot of stuff. Dwight, when do you think you could reasonably look at that?
Capital?
Yeah. Do you think by the maybe second meeting in April?
Sure.
Things should slow down for us,
Yeah, absolutely.
if that white stuff stops falling?
Yeah, well, we're melting. Yep.
Yes, hopefully. I'm melting.
Sure.
Anybody else from the board? No? You anything?
I mean, last time we were, we went over some of the things, right?
What was it
we-
you just
that was-
agreed to?
Oh, have a capital plan
Oh, great.
for distribution. Yeah.
Well, and then kind of work up where we're gonna go through.
Yeah, we'll go through it.
Carrie was working on the transportation stuff. We've got the STEM and STEAM stuff. we've got the budget already set. We'll have, all our policies are good, but we have to review them and we'll review them late summer. I think, Matt, do you and Tammy remember, we gave them from March 1st to March 31st for the move between buildings?
Correct, March 31st is.
Right, so we kind of want to see how that played out for that policy. And then, it's before we blink, we're going to be back trying to make budgets, because remember, it's got to be in the can and ready for sale in December next year, so we can vote on it in February.
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
For in the coming year.
Yeah.
And leave it to the politician to say this, but I actually think it's fairly important, given what's happening or not happening in Southern Vermont with education. I think it's probably important for this functioning new district to invite our senators to come in and really talk with them about what's happening here and what they're seeing throughout the rest of Southern Vermont, because there is a lot of angst and other stuff happening, which if it doesn't stop, is really going to be detracting from the resources that are available to help us, being able to help us, and just kind of continuing a lot of that angst. So I think it would be good to invite.
Before the session's over?
No, I think that's probably not even productive. That would be my opinion. So I would say sometime, this summer or fall, ask them to come in and,
Why don't you work on that? You know our meeting schedule, remember in the summer, we may go to one meeting because we don't have as much going on.
Yeah.
So see, maybe you can get some ideas from them and let us know at the next meeting.
I mean, if the board would like to do that, I think it's something that.
Well, does everybody think it's a good
probably
idea?
get
Yeah, that's
engaged
great,
with them on.
Sure.
Why don't, see what you can get, see if they are agreeable and, just, you'll know the dates. And see if there's some time in September maybe that works.
Okay.
Okay. Carrie, we're on the second page. We're just finishing up future work the board will want to tackle.
Okay, thank you.
So we've got the STEM and STEAM, the capital plan Dwight's gonna work on. We have, policies after, especially the school choice policy. After, that plays out for the month that we have. Laura wanted to invite the senators after the session's over to just discuss, how it's working for us, Act 46, because there's a lot of angst amongst
great.
other districts. Did you have anything else? We have your bus letter that's going, transportation that's going to Wyndham Central.
I just think that, I know people it's early, are already talking about, so what is there gonna be a bus service next year, school year, going to Brattleboro middle and high school, so people are already starting to think about that. What does transportation look like for River Valleys? Not really for elementary, it's for the secondary. So people are starting to think, because they're starting to think about what schools their students are gonna be going to for middle and high school, so.
So just, one, they shouldn't talk to an individual board member.
I know they're
They
just
should,
asking
yeah.
about, hey, are these?
And then, I think everybody in the public needs to be reminded that we can only guarantee something for 1 year, because we
Right.
only get 1 year's budget to vote on. I don't see huge changes, but, we're all just one vote. And I don't know what it's gonna look like until we kind of see where this transportation thing goes with Wyndham Central and what they're gonna look at. And then it's all gonna be based on money too. A lot of it's gonna be, how much is it gonna cost us?
Just wanted you to know, and the other board members, that people are starting to ask those
Yeah.
questions, and I just
We
said,
did at our town meeting
Yeah.
too.
we haven't made any
Multiple.
decisions, and those are things that the board's gonna start thinking about, so.
Along those lines, way back when, probably over 10 years ago, another time working on another transportation policy for Dover, I think it was especially helpful, we had a charge at that time that we were trying to, do you have a charge for that, for the, you do, for the transportation
So I
committee?
have a charge that you gave us,
Yes. Oh,
which I
yes.
have
Yeah.
written a draft letter to the superintendent that I will send out to all of you. I sent it out to Tammy and to Matt for their comments.
Yeah.
And I sent it out over the weekend to all the committee members. So you gave us a charge for the committee to look at of services at 20%
Right.
above what we're operating or what we operated at this past year, and then a 20% cut, and what those would look like. But we don't have a further charge after that.
I think it might be helpful to help people kind of understand how decisions get made. You know, something along, you know, serving the greatest number with the time available. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
if that's something we
so
should
Carrie-
work
But
on.
remember, Carrie's group kind of felt that this was too much for them to really be able to look at, because they can't do the higher review, because they don't have access to the numbers, they don't know what the contracts look like, they don't know what anybody else has outside of their each individual realm. So I think their question is gone, they were saying that that's something that should be done at the Wyndham Central level. And Wyndham Central is looking at making some changes in their administration that maybe will possibly fit in for that. So that's why, let's see what her letter says. And then I think her committee feels that they can't do any they're working behind the 8 ball, so they need a higher power to do it, or somebody that's,
But I think they could set a charge. They're not gonna do the groundwork.
well, they're not gonna set a charge for Wyndham Central.
Okay.
They can make suggestions, but it would be Wyndham Central. If we want to have our own study group in-house, and they were gonna do that, they could make a charge to bring to us.
I think
But
the
that's-
chart, sorry,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
the chart that you gave, or
Yeah.
this board
Yeah.
gave to the transportation committee, I think the members felt like to look at real efficiencies for both serving the greatest population for the
Yeah.
students and financial
Yeah.
efficiency, that those are really a bigger picture to look at what is the central supervisory union. Because already Wardsboro has built in their efficiencies through the supervisory union. So we were really trying to figure out, okay, efficiencies with Wardsboro. Well, Wardsboro already is really tight and lean with the supervisory union. If we take them apart to just make Wardsboro and Dover efficient, are we breaking down a system that's working pretty well for them? So it's hard to figure out without having a larger lens.
You need to look at it holistically,
Yeah.
as far as how's it gonna,
Right, and that's what your committee, I think, was
I think
struggling
so.
with a little bit.
It's not the lack of wanting to do that, it's the, wow, we need a lot of information from a lot of different players that we don't have, to look at it broader, so.
Right, and so I'm sure that there's some charge that the supervisory union is looking at that we are going to fall under, besides just function, or whatever.
Yeah, but again,
Together.
that won't be decided until next week.
Okay.
And it's not from us, but Carrie is planning on going to
Yes.
Wyndham Central next week, as is Barry and Dwight, even though Dwight hasn't found out yet.
Ah,
And,
Thanks, Dwight.
and I did speak with Johnny, he's coming from Dover, so we should be pretty well represented. We'll tell you about it later, or you can watch the video.
yeah, just review it. I thought I
And we
came
talked
late.
about that too. So is everybody okay with that?
given their, like, how we're gonna allocate our fund balances and stuff like that, remember we were
I'm
gonna sit
sorry.
down, our fund balance, how we're gonna allocate that, remember we were talking about, you have transportation money, we have capital money, we
Yeah.
have, I mean, that should be on our list too, of how we're gonna
Oh,
allocate
yeah.
that out.
Why don't I call it finances?
Mhm.
Because the other thing I want to do, and I was gonna have it under new business, I have financial review.
Mhm.
So we'll hit that too, but that's a good point.
But I mean, that's a bigger picture sort
Right,
of thing
but
for the.
a lot of it too, the big
gotta depend on
items is
that.
what Dwight thinks we should, save up in what he's proposing, that we start the capital building fund in, because that's, that's where you can lose a lot of money quickly. A roof in Dover's $200,000.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what your roof is, but I
It
bet
was
you it's gotta be
60.
60, 75. And then Matt and Tammy are both great with water systems and heat systems.
Better than they wanna be.
And Dover's heat system's 25 years old, and I don't know how old Wardsboro's is.
As old as the building.
And the other thing too, there is some income. Dover does get income from, the solar array. And then, does Wardsboro participate with the one in Newbrook?
Electricity.
Yes.
Yeah, see, and that's maybe something we could look into too, because maybe you can get a double savings or something. But, yeah, so that would be.
It just is bigger.
Yeah.
Once Dwight gets his stuff in, it's something we should work on this year.
Right. And the other thing is, we won't know really what we're all moving into, until August
Till
sometime
after,
when
yeah.
when the audits are done.
Books closed.
Okay, good. Good thoughts. So I'll write that up for next meeting.
Thank you.
And then hopefully we can move forward. Where to go with the consultant for information? So I'm looking at this saying, why did I write this and what this is all
That's
about?
what we all thought too, probably.
So this is Anita.
Yes.
So we waited, we didn't want to do anything with Anita until we kind of saw if the budget passed or not. So we do have some money available to still hire Anita, but what do we need her to do for us? Or is there anything we need her to do for us?
What happens with minutes and all of that right now?
Wyndham Central puts them
They
online.
post the minutes and the
Do they
agendas.
post them on our website?
Yes.
I don't
our
know.
website?
Oh, no, the Wyndham Central, they post them.
Not unless Anita doesn't. I mean, there's a link to Wyndham Central.
She just
but-
links.
But she was posting the individual ones.
If we really want it posted, I'm sure we can talk to one of our administrators or somebody that could regularly post them to our website.
Matt shaking his head, yes.
Yeah.
so.
I think they already are regularly posted to your website.
But I think Mark is saying that Anita does it.
Oh, I think, does she have authority? I think.
I think
Yeah, she
Bill
does
gave her
all
a
of it.
password.
Yeah,
I didn't know if she's gonna be here or not.
she said she wasn't on the agenda, so
No, she was, she just wasn't.
just didn't realize it.
I didn't put her name specifically.
I mean, I think we're moving in a different phase. There's no question we're in a different phase. So it's a good question to figure out, what the needs are. And I think there probably are some. Either in a PR role, if you will. Certainly there are a lot of exciting things that are happening at the school, and certainly schools don't have PR per se. But with STEM coming online and some of the other things that are happening, it's a good informational vehicle for us. But I think yes,
She's proven herself.
Yeah, she's certainly proven herself. So, but we're moving in a different direction, if you will. So, but yeah, it's up to us to figure out what that direction is.
It's our first year.
Operating school
It's
system.
a first year operating. And I would say the chances of, nothing changing in the next 2 years are probably slim to none. And so, that communication piece is gonna be,
PR communication. I mean, if
I think we
nobody,
could do without it we'd have to have it really locked down, like, the administrators would have to be like, okay, here's where, you're going on Front Porch Forum and you're doing this and the things that she was doing.
so I had a thought, but I wanted to just see if anybody else did, because I didn't want to just push my will through or my thought through.
I think
So-
if we have a new contract, if we're starting with a new contract, we should give her what the scope is, the parameters, because I think she was asking the last time also.
Yeah.
That way she knows what she should be doing for us. So if there's a specific topic or,
So I did have something if nobody else does. But I just didn't, if anybody else had any thoughts, I just didn't want to, like you said, pollute the. You all good?
Would we want the website? I'd like to see that kind of upgraded. It looks like it needs a little something.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the school can have a website, but we also pay somebody at Wyndham Central.
Right.
And both schools pay people to do the website. So I would like to have them do what we're paying them for.
That's great.
So my thought is the new big thing that we're gonna be doing for the next few months, and just talk to her about maybe a 3-month contract or 4-month contract is, and I think you were kind of hitting on a little bit is, we ask our administrators to oversee the schools and make sure the schools running our children are learning. We are kind of going off in a little different direction, and one of the big issues we had in Dover when we pushed the IB was communications on the IB stuff, what's going on. So I think that Anita's maybe could be used very well for us and we just get us over to the first of, until we start operating River Valleys. And I think we can still use our grant money, from the merger grant, to have her really kind of publicize what's going on with the STEM and STEAM thing. So instead of on top of Tammy having to figure out the schools and figure out dates and see who can go, and instead of Matt trying to help her out by not even being in the same building, maybe that's something Anita could work on for us. That'll help her, give her some movement forward, and we say, we'll contract you till the middle of July for now, and then let's see where that goes, and then after that, we will be, like Laura said, we're not gonna get away with telling everybody, hey, vote for this budget, because it's our first year and we're really not sure how everything's working out. I think that flew for 1 year. The next year, I think we gotta be a little more prepared, and we'll spend a lot more time with the budget, and then maybe that's a time to see how that goes, and she can help us push that out also. But that would be a separate contract, and we would do that, after the first of the year. Because the merger grant will go away, so we won't have that money, so I'll have to come out of the budget, and we'll have to decide where we take that from if we wanna continue. And we don't know, we may be all happy and everybody may agree with whatever we're doing, or we may need the summer and some of the fall to get to the focus, to get something approved that everybody seems to be happy with too, so. And that allows us a little leeway with her.
Yeah, I think that's,
Yeah, I mean, I would suspect we're gonna be having meetings and that she'll need to help publicize those and that kind of thing, and getting information out. She's been great at doing those kind of things for us.
so that sounds great. In terms of transitioning now, I'm hearing like we're paying Wyndham Central to do something, we should have them do it. So, I mean, we have a site that is set up, so if we're thinking that, we're gonna move all that over to Wyndham Central, which I'm not opposed to, I would also like Anita to be maybe working on a transition plan
Good point.
and some instructions, like, here's what I do.
Definitely.
And,
That's a good
for
point.
us to say, yes, we would like the website to continue, or no, we would not. Just to have some sort of
Yeah, that's a good point.
bow tied on that.
Hey, Matt and Tammy, for next meeting, it's a short turnaround time. Can you just find out what's going on with the websites? And I think Bill's got something on next Monday too that we don't get him. I think West River has them. But can you just let us know so we can talk a little bit intelligently? Like, are the minutes going up? What is going up there? My understanding was the only difference between what Anita was doing and what Wyndham Central was doing is Anita's, you could respond back to ask questions, and Anita was monitoring that to bring back to us. But can we just get a definition and figure out what is going on, at least with that? And then we'll ask Anita if she can come to the next meeting, and we'll talk about the STEM STEAM and what she can do for us and what she thinks that will entail. And then we can also talk to her about what she's been doing on the websites, and maybe we can kind of make it, come up with some kind of plan.
Like an April to July sort of thing to.
Yeah, just to get us into the middle of July, so we're under the new budget, if we can do a contract and pay her, or through July, and then August 1st, see where we stand, and then reassess it. I believe the schedule that, Tammy, you have is by June, you wanna figure out where we're gonna go and come up with a plan, but we'll still need to market it, let people know in July and August. And if you wanna make a decision in June, then May, we're really gonna need to, because June is gonna be hard to do anything. We really wanna get people out here and make sure that people understand what it's gonna be. And I think that's gonna be a lot of marketing too.
Yeah, and if we do it, if we do STEAM here, we haven't actually marketed the IB.
Right.
So we probably want to have her do both.
We've done a lot though. I mean, we did presentations on IB and what it is. We had the staff here. We talked about it because it was one of the options that was originally on the
Right.
board for Wardsboro.
Yeah, when we're reaching
So-
out to the public, I mean, we just do both. It'll be
Okay.
good.
So everybody good with that?
Yes.
I think that's great.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
Can I make a suggestion about the website? I think as a board, you guys need to decide, do you want a district website with 2 schools? Or do you want just the schools to have their own websites like they do now, and then whether you want a district website or not. Do you want it uniform? And those are kind of questions that you guys have to decide, and then
Well, we'll
charge
have
somebody.
whoever's designed the website come to us and ask us that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's already
I mean,
No, are we gonna keep it?
What he's saying is
It's
that
been
we
there
have
for.
a
You
Dover
have-
school
you have
website,
three-
a
you have three
Wardsboro school
websites right
website,
now.
and you have a River Valley.
And there's also,
And Wyndham Central.
there's also a Wyndham Central website, and there's, there's all sorts of websites out there. And, but it's what we're gonna support. What do we wanna make sure is up there? We have to have a site with Wyndham Central. I mean, it's needed for stuff to go back and forth between central office. So we'll always have a Wyndham Central site, plus that's part of the dues we pay, that's part of the administration. We don't, just because it's not exactly what everybody wants, doesn't mean that we need to spend money on another website because somebody doesn't wanna have to click to read the minutes, they want the minutes just to appear or something. I mean, and that's why I think when we talk to Anita about this and we have some information from them, and then Mark, I think that would cover it. This is what we get from Wyndham Central, this is what they do for us. This is what we've been doing in-house, this is what Anita's been doing, and then I think the whole thing, we can look at it as a big picture instead of just looking at one website or one location.
but I was sort of talking top down. I think you have to decide whether you as a board, how you want it to be. Forget about what Wyndham Central does. They host the website now, the RVUSD. It's hosted on
Why don't you
On-
pay for it?
the domain name.
Big difference.
But it's through Google Sites, well, actually Blogger.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Oh my God. You know you're on.
It's filming me, of course.
No, I think, so I'm not saying no, Mark, what I'm saying is let's get everybody together. We're not gonna make a decision now, and I don't think you're asking us to.
No, but I do think that you guys should make a decision what you want even
So it's a
before
bigger
getting people together.
Okay, and I would like to see what we've got going before we make any decisions. I'd like to see what our options are.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, I don't know. And again, the
So-
whole, yep, go
Sorry.
ahead. No, I was just gonna say, I think, I'd like to see where we can go, because I don't wanna have too much stuff out there, cause I think sometimes you get hurt when there's too many websites there. So which website do I go to?
That's sort of what I'm saying. If you have a district website, it's uniform with a link to each school versus, right now you got 3 websites that look totally
Right.
different.
Okay, so I think we're saying the same thing in just different languages.
I speak French, I don't know about you.
I don't, but I had 5 years of it.
Yeah, I think I had 8.
La Bibliothèque. Okay, thank you, sir. So can we get some of that information next meeting? Who wants to contact Anita to see if she can kind of? Will you, Matt?
I just have an email drafted to Bill, Meg, and Anita, and I'll just request that information.
Okay, and ask her if she can come to the meeting, and ask Bill if whoever is doing the website from Wyndham Central can come. And somebody invite this guy, Mark, he's one of the auditors, and have him make sure, are you there next Monday?
Probably.
Okay,
What's the date?
18th.
18th, week from today,
I can do that.
okay.
And what
So
is the agenda item that we're doing? What are we asking them to come and do?
We're gonna
again?
ask them to explain the websites, explain our online presence, how's that?
Okay.
What we have out there, who's responsible for what, and then we can start to look at that, and then we can kind of either start to make some decisions or have some discussions. Or I'm
Great.
even really good that if we wanna do a little subcommittee with a couple people from each building and Mark and some people, sorry, from the board.
I think he was gesturing to you.
What?
No, he was gesturing to you.
No. Wait. He was the last one here, you got lucky. Is everybody good with that then?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other old business I missed? Okay, so, new business, financial review. So we haven't done a lot of this in Dover, and we've done very little of it in, with River Valleys, because we really haven't had a budget. But we did get a transition grant from the state of Vermont. So take one and pass it around, I think I got enough for out there. So what I wanna do is as soon as Lori gets the budget together and we start spending money, I think we're gonna try to do the second meeting, we'll have to see how the financials work. Is I want everybody on the board to really look at the budget with us, we'll look at it as a group every month, just to see what's being spent and where things are being spent, because I think it's good for people to see and learn and figure out, and we've got a couple fairly new administrators. We have some board members that haven't done a lot with budgets, so I think it's something that we really should do and be strong in, because in Dover, anyway, we found if we can answer questions, talk intelligently about the budget, people are more apt to support you, instead of you saying, it's for the kids, we really need it, please give it to us, and then you don't seem to get it. So there was merger grants, there were $150,000 merger grants. So we were all very confused at Wyndham Central, because early on we were told, oh yeah, you can have a grant for this preliminary study. So we got a $15,000 grant for a preliminary study. We hired a consultant. And then we said, okay, now this preliminary study said we should do 2 study groups, one involving Wardsboro, Dover, and Marlboro, and one involving the rest of the towns. And then there was money available for both of those towns. And then they're telling us, oh yeah, and if you vote for this, you get a $150,000 merger grant. Well, yeah, right, state of Vermont. Here we go. Well, yeah, you get a $150,000 merger grant, but your first study comes off the top, your second 2 studies come off the top, and then whatever's left you get to spend. But it's not per new district, it's per supervisory union. So we started off with about $115,524.38, which is under budget year to date. Total grant award for 18-19. So in FY18, we spent $11,212.19, which left for FY19, which is where we're in. And everybody knows that if you get confused on fiscal or physical year, it's a fiscal year is always the last year that you're in the budget years is FY19. So FY19 means the budget that ends June 30th, 2019. Well, some people get confused. They don't know if it's 18, ends in 18 or 19 when it says 18-19. So you always go to the last year. So we have $104,312.19 left. We did encumber a lot of money when we first started the study. We what we did as an SU with West River, we decided, Lori asked for some money for the business office and stipends for some business office people to do some of the transfer and convert to the new system. And I had a meeting at Wyndham Central today, and we're one of 6 districts, I think, in the entire state that have actually transitioned to this new system. And a lot of schools are having a lot of trouble with it. So instead of us going to an interim system and then next year going to a whole new system, we're going to start our lives and start operating the school under one budget system, one accounting system. So that's going to work out really well for us.
As long as the state stays committed to it.
Well, I think the state's going to stay committed to it because they've invested a lot of money. There's not been any discussion about them not committing to it. There has been discussion of them allowing people an extra year to transition, which doesn't affect us because we're already transitioning, which is actually probably for the best, because then
We're gonna make
if
the
there's
system.
bugs,
Yeah.
we'll see them first, but there won't be as many people trying to call up saying, hey, why is this program not doing what it's supposed to? So it could be a benefit for us. So if you look here, so your first column is what we budgeted year to date. Then it's actual year to date. It's the encumbrance, how much she believes is going to still be spent, and then available year to date is the last column. So the business office and board stipends, she figured out all the stipends that we agreed to pay, including our clerk, our treasurer, the board members, anybody else, plus the business office. It's $52,275. They've actually spent $18,000 to date. There's around 34 left, and she feels, or 34 encumbered, so she feels like there's going to be $14.69 left there.
Sandwich.
Health, dental, HSA, FICA, life, retirement, and unemployment are all part of the benefits that people who are getting these stipends, because they even take FICA out of us when you get your board stipend, there'll be FICA missing. So you can see what you budgeted, what's actually been spent, what you feel should be encumbered. And again, it's a little bit more than sandwiches, but it's, not a whole lot.
Rich, can I just ask a question?
Yep.
So who's the health, dental, HSA, FICA?
Those are the people in the business office and some of the people that are full-time employed. FICA is everybody.
Right.
Everybody pays FICA.
So are those aren't employees of the River Valley School?
No, those are employees of Wyndham Central.
Right,
Yeah, River Valley doesn't have any employees.
right, that's what I was
Right.
wondering,
No,
so.
these are the business office people and people at central office.
Mhm.
They got stipends or extra money to do extra work to
For
get
River
the
Valleys.
system. For
Okay.
both River Valleys and West River.
Okay, all right.
So what they did was we took that right off the top before we spent any other money. Over about a year and a half ago, Lori and Bill came to the SU board and said, this is how much we think it's gonna cost. So we took that off the top. Then we said that River Valleys is about half the size of Leland and Gray or West River. So we did a 2/3, 1/3 split. So they got 2/3 of the remainder money. We got 1/3. But also off the top was the merger grant contracted services, which is that $6,000 line item. That's the money that we had to spend to have our supposed experts come in and tell us what to do. Then you get into West River contracted services. That's Peter, it's TV, it's Anita, food, newspaper articles, notices. There was 10,000 budgeted for the West River and 9,000 for us. And you can see there is some money left in those that she feels may be available, 2,900 and 2,400. That's why we can still have some money to contract with Anita if we want to. Plus, this will take us through to July 1st, so like the video recording is so much per meeting, and that would come out of there. And she's got that encumbered already, but we didn't encumber Anita because we knew her contract was gonna end. And then we show legal services for West River and for River Valleys. We did just have the attorney review a contract for us, so that is not encumbered yet. But it's not gonna be that much money because most of it was existing stuff. So you see that, there's budget year to date is 104. We've actually spent 43. There's 49, almost 50,000 encumbered. So there's $11,000 that'll probably be available. So if we need to do something else. And remember, like the banner that we had Bill get for the schools came out of that. Any public notices, anytime he calls the attorney, he takes it out of there. But the money does go away next year too, so if there's anything else we need, you should spend it now.
So this 11,269.98 is what we have.
Not all of ours, it's us and West River.
Oh,
I was gonna
okay.
say, it's kind of who gets it first, though, with this.
No, we agreed to a 2/3, 1/3
Okay.
split. So a third of those the River Valley ones, the 3310 and the 2549, those remainders should be ours. So if you look all the way at the bottom on the right-hand column, not the 11,000, but the one above it, the 33.
Yes.
If we don't spend it on legal services, we should be allowed to spend that on something
Okay.
that's allowable for us. And then skip up to 2425, that's River Valley Contracted Services. That should be, if we want to have a contract with Anita, that's where that would come out of.
Gotcha, okay.
May I?
Well, go ahead and then Carrie.
Go ahead.
Oh, you can go.
I was just gonna say, if we don't find that it makes sense to spend those dollars, if we're not able to spend those dollars, a great expense might be for some of those dollars, might be a more unified web presence.
No, we could definitely use it for that, up till July 1st or June 30th.
Well, constructing it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that
Yeah.
can be used, but it has to be done and billed before June 30th.
Of this year,
Right, that's why I want to have this meeting next week.
contracted for.
No, paid for it. I mean, because it's only whatever work is done. Because remember, the auditors say, doesn't matter when you pay for it, it's when you actually have the services delivered. So you can't pay next year's web presence this year and have it count.
It's not accrual.
No.
Interesting.
So we're gonna need to get cracking.
Well, that's why I wanted to.
So if you have a
It
contract
won't
paying
take long
advance.
to spend $11,000.
Okay.
Quick question, Rich?
Yes.
We're not limited, so that's about $5,700. We're not limited to how we spend that, meaning.
Yes,
that-
we are.
Meaning we've got 3,300 in attorney's fees, meaning.
No,
we're only limited
no.
to Using,
No.
The numbers we can move around because that's something we created.
okay,
But yes, we can't use it to, so we can't use it to buy books for the library. Because that's not
right.
an allowable expense.
So we're not limited to, if we have a excess of 3,300 in
Right.
attorney's fees, we don't have to.
Just leave it there because, no, it wasn't, but attorney's fees was something that was allowed. But we can move some of that money into the contracted services.
Okay,
So like if we wanted to work on a web page, we could, or I believe we can move that into the focus study.
okay.
So we can say, hey, Tammy, you've got some money here if you needed to look
Say it,
into,
focus, yeah.
but there's certain rules because we have to even up with the AOE.
Follow up to that?
Yep.
Would that include, hey, we're taking some field trips to go see other STEM or
maybe.
STEAM trips, schools?
Right, we would just check it ahead of time, but,
Okay.
and then if not, we would just take it out of a school budget because remember, any surplus or deficit just carries on to the new organization July 1st. So this is clear as mud to everybody? Did you guys get a copy of this too? No? Oh, there's some up here, yeah. And maybe let Mark and the chairman one with those guys too. Okay, so on that kind of thought, on that train of thought, so we were voted a stipend last year of $1,000 a board member. Those looking at me like we were. Oh, okay. So usually what we've done in the past is usually you put in for it in June, because that way you finished out your year. So everybody should, in June, we should do something up. I don't know how it's gonna work, but, we can put in for the stipend for that. The clerk also put in for a stipend, and we do have the money to pay it. So does anybody have a problem if we authorize Lori to cut a check to our clerk for the $2,000 that we agreed to pay him for a stipend early?
No.
Do you need a
What line item does it
motion?
go under? Does it go under legal?
No, it goes under stipends, way up top,
Oh.
business office and
Oh, yeah,
FY19 board stipends.
And it's not encumbered already?
Yeah, it is encumbered in there, it's just when do we release it?
Oh, okay, yeah, great.
Because usually, like, we actually did, when we first started doing this, we had a board member who took their stipend early on in April, and we never saw him again. So, we've always said,
True
we wait
story.
till the end of the year. Yeah, very true story, very
Okay,
upsetting.
Okay.
It wasn't you, though.
No, I'm still here.
You're still here. I don't know if we need a motion, because we voted to give him the stipend.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
So if
great.
nobody has an issue and the money's there, my concern originally was, when he originally asked for it, is I didn't know where the money's gonna come from, because I didn't know the stipends had been figured into this. That's why I want to get an accounting for a couple reasons. One, so everybody can kind of see where we stand, so when we start saying, hey, let's get Barry to get one of those big cakes again to celebrate something, do we have the money to cover it?
I've
And
been
then-
running under the assumption we don't have any money.
Yeah, so,
That's-
me
it
too.
was nice to-
Kinda.
Yeah, I
Nice to
didn't
know
have to
that
pay
there was some
nothing
there,
either. This is actually
Yeah,
good
I
news.
thought
Some
the
of it's not
stipends
spent.
were gonna come
I
out.
thought we were all
Well,
done.
so the other thing too is, look at legal fees spent between the two groups.
Yeah.
And the big reason there is that Rick and I were able to do a lot of the negotiation
Right.
stuff without having to have the attorney there 24/7. So
Exactly.
that by us doing some things like that does help bring in and save some money.
I say we give you guys a raise.
No,
Is that the difference between
We already did.
West River? Because that's a humongous,
Yeah.
there's 7,000.
no, well, they
for
also,
attorney's fees,
remember,
190.
they've had a lot more legal requests of the attorney too.
Yeah.
Because they're still trying to figure out what to do with Wyndham.
Right,
And they still have to do, they're doing negotiations, and everything they do involves five towns and five school districts. Plus, they still have that Newbrook School District, it's a little bit of a mutant out there on the side, so they do have a lot of stuff that goes to the attorney, a lot more than us. We're pretty fortunate that we're just the two schools, and that we're in pretty decent shape ahead of time anyways, and again, another big thing is, I've always said, we don't run a high school. High schools are expensive and cause a lot more policies with the high school, a lot more stuff going on, a lot more legal issues get brought up at high school level than do. So it's just, did you have something? Everybody good?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so financial review is good. Then the only thing we got left is an update on executive session on the contractual. And then we've got the next meeting is the 18th at Dover School. So I had April 1st with a question mark, because it is April Fool's Day, and we used to always meet on all the big holidays, but we've started changing things.
So if you show up, there may not be a meeting.
Plus, I don't trust Laura sometimes on April Fool's Day. That's her
I'm sorry?
holiday.
Did you say you don't trust me sometimes?
On April Fool's Day.
Usually Melissa's favorite holiday.
It was an April Fool's.
And then
Fighting words.
April 15th is tax day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It
So
is.
that's a holiday too.
That's a holiday though, right?
Yeah, that is
You know what, Richard?
Patriots Day.
Don't sass me.
I'm not sassing you.
You are sassy.
It's also school vacation week, I won't.
That's
I know
school
what you're-
vacation, I
know
won't
what
be
I'm
here
doing.
either.
I won't be here on the 15th.
Okay, are you here?
No.
Are you here?
I probably will not be here either.
So the 15th we gotta cancel,
I would think
because
so.
then we only got the three of us. Are you here on the 15th?
Yeah.
Probably.
Barry,
Let
find
me
out
double check. and
for
I'll-
Monday,
and
because
I'll
if you're
email
not
you.
here, we might as well just cancel it.
I'll be at the Grand Canyon.
Thanks a
Cool.
lot,
I'm
Barry.
getting helicopters, they're scary. Okay, so we gotta find out about the 15th, folks. We may have to blow that off to the week after. Carrie's not here. Then we gotta also check with Johnny and Jolene for Dover.
Dover meeting that night too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're meeting next week with you anyway, so we'll figure that out. Okay, so we'll check into the 15th and find out.
I'll find out tonight and I'll email you.
Okay, thank you. That was all I had. Anybody else? Getting a lot of stuff done, so hopefully we keep up the good work. So I'll ask for an executive session on a update on contractual.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. At whatever time it
Or
is.
it's Lori's birthday.
It's Lori's birthday.
Is it?
My
Lori
sister.
who?
No, it's my sister.
Oh,
Oh,
No.